Hello, thank you for watching today. Got a new video for you, of course. Uh, Went to Gilroy on Saturday. It's a town where I grew up in since 1967. Other than traveling around with the military and coming home later, hardly ever left town. Didn't have a desire to till we moved to the mountains. But we went to a sale yesterday. Found some good stuff and I wanted to share it with you today. I'm going to start off mostly because it's on top. It's this is a World War II era Coast Guard, U.S. Coast Guard Sweetheart's pillow cover. It has a lot of nice graphics, great, beautiful, vivid colors. Has a message to Sweetheart up here. Coast Guard items, sometimes they're overlooked because people think they're non-essential. But let me tell you, the Coast Guard played a big active role in both world wars, Vietnam and the Korean War. I know Vietnam came after the Korean conflict, but Korean War, sorry. So this is nice. This is in absolute mint condition. And since I don't have very many Coast Guard items, I'm keeping this for my personal collection. You'll find that when you watch my videos, a lot of this stuff I keep for myself. And there's a lot of things that I do sell, but I'll mention if they're for sale or not. But this was a nice item. I got that relatively cheap. You know, let me get those out of the way. Actually, I'll start with those two. I picked up a bunch of iPad cases. A couple keyboards in there, the wireless keyboards that go with one. Plus, I found an actual iPad. Didn't have a charger. My wife has the same type. Hers is a bit newer, but it takes the same charger. And she didn't tell me her cord was broken, so I can't charge this up till tomorrow. Things coming. It says iPad 2, but iPad 2 charger doesn't fit it. I don't know what it is. I'm not good with electronics like this. I hardly ever buy them, but you know, you can't pass up that many cases and an actual iPad for $10, because even for parts, that iPad will still bring money. It did come on slightly, but then the battery went completely dead, so I know it'll at least fire up. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet, whether I'm going to sell it or hold on to it to use for traveling with, rather than taking my laptop everywhere. But I know I can at least make $10 maybe back from the cases. So that was a really good deal, I thought. You know, I'm not getting into buying electronics, but when I see something like that, it's hard for me to pass up. Just even if I want to take it apart and see how it works. That's how I learn to fix other things, is I usually buy something that's broken and find out why it's broken and reverse engineer it there to you know, to see how it works. But I bought this charger for an iPad 2. You know, it has a different head on it there, the 30 pin, and I need one of the small ones, like I said, my wife has. So I ordered one off Amazon. It'll be here tomorrow, Monday, and it's still nice. It's all in good shape. The guy said it was locked. He couldn't get into it, but when I took the case off, it's kind of why it's two pieces right there. I found a password written on the back, so I'm hoping to recover it that way. If not, I'll hook it up to my laptop and get some software that I found yesterday, and I'll bypass and unlock and jailbreak it, and that way, if I do sell it, having them jailbroken makes it better. Anyway, moving on. My parents found this photo for me. It's on a photo. It's a copy. It's probably out of a book, or it could have been one of the ones they sold back in the 20s and 30s. Of this, I can't read that small print, but it's of Grant, Ulysses Grant. I don't care for some of the tactics he used, but mostly because we were on the other side, my family, during that war, and but he was still a pretty decent soldier. Have to acknowledge that. And, I'll keep him in with my military items. We got some field telephones. I'm going to clean them up a whole lot. There's a couple, they need to be re-oiled and take out and clean up the contacts and things. I've done it before. That's all they're missing are these snaps right here, but I can get those. I got a supplier that makes replica ones that, this is a Signacor U.S. Army telephone EE-8-B. So I like them in the leather cases. They also came in thick green canvas. Like I was telling my wife that, we have an old hand crank telephone inside the house that has the same thing, a magneto to produce energy. If I put a light dry cell battery like these take, I can actually hook up the phone in the house, one of these out in my garage, and one of these in the garden shed, and we can communicate if I'm ever outside. But they're going to sit inside. It's just something fun to think about. Then next we have a Cold War era Soviet officer's buckle and belt. My parents found that for me also. My parents are the ones that always fed my interests in military items, and every time they go out, they look for it for me. So I have more than one way of getting a hold of military items, and these are cool things I would have missed if it was not for them getting it for me. We gave them they don't want to take the money back, but I insist they take the money back when I spend something like this. And then my dad found me this nice vintage Russian vodka bottle. Of course it's empty and don't drink. I would have poured it out anyways, but Russian vodka, and it's actually made in Russia, not in English, anything on there. And I know what it is, but I can't remember how to pronounce it in English. But it's from the 50s also, so that's about Cold War era also. And that fits in really good with the display I want to do with nuclear bombs and those dog tags I got a while back that were kids' dog tags from school that they would issue. So it all fits in together. If I ever do a display or set one up in my room to have Cold War era, that's going to be amongst that. That's pretty cool. I collect bottles anyways, and they're pretty neat. And then my wife found a Miss Susie. That's from the 60s, I believe, 64, 65. And it's a nice little kid's book. We collect kids' books. And that was a nice vintage one. And if we ever have grandkids, those are books we plan on reading to them because they're nice old-fashioned books. My dad found this nice civilian camping backpack, official camping pack sack. This could have been for, I think, the Boy Scouts. It was authorized for Boy Scout use if you purchase it yourself. Brought my dad's attention to it was that it was the color khaki of the First World War canvas, and it matched some of the World War II Pacific canvas items that I have. Really good shape, just needs a good little brushing, get most of the dust off. It looks like it's been in a barn for a long time or just in storage, and that comes with the territory there, cleaning things off. But that's nice. I like that. I've got to look it up. And he told me a value, but I forgot it on the way home. So I want to look it up, maybe put a little sticker in a piece of paper in here with the value and age. I think it's from the 50s. But then I picked up some newer items. I'm starting to look for things that I can use for the betterment of the YouTube page and just speaking in general when I make recordings for sermons or other issues that I do. There's something that'll make the audio a little bit clearer. It's pop filter. Found that for $1. That's pretty good. I know they cost more than that on Amazon, so that was a good deal. And let me see what I got here. Doan's pills, analgesic tablets, mild diuretic to the kidneys. Now I collect old tins like this, medical items and quack medicine and things like that. So any kind of little metal containers like this have medical items names on it, medicines and things. I tend to pick those up. My wife found that for me at one of the sales. We got a nice little chalkware Indian chief, and he's probably from the 50s. Paid $5 for that, but I like that. A little bit of gold wash around it. It's fine. I don't know if he had a little feather up there or not. But, I'm getting pretty good at repairing ceramics and chalkware that I could probably make a feather if he had one. I don't think he did. I think it's just a chip on the back, as you can see right there. But anyways, this is really nice. It's probably made in Japan from the 50s. And nice little native man with his war bonnet on. Pretty cool. Then I have some church keys or can bottle opener combinations. Got 4 of those, although I don't know why I picked this one up. I think I thought it said something about a beer on it or something, but it doesn't. Just a plain old one. But what I'm going to do is I'll probably put that out at my garage, and if I need it for something out there, I can use it, prying or whatever. We have Burgermeister Beer. This is a common one. There's a lot of these around, but I like them. And I'm going to use Mike from the January House and the January House auctions tip for cleaning this with aluminum foil, crumpled up, and just kind of rubbing on it with maybe some water, a little bit of oil. But I'm going to try his method. I'm sure it's going to work, and that was a really good video to teach you how to clean with aluminum foil. You should look for it and watch it. Lucky Lager, age-dated beer. Yeah, I didn't like the taste of Lucky Lager too much back in the day. But it's lucky when you live in America. That's the truth. We might not be the best anymore, but we're certainly the best place to live. America's awesome, and I love being an American. So then we have Falls City Beer. Now that's one I haven't heard of, and because I'm not really too much in the beer collectibles except for just some really cool items. But when I find these, I can't help but buy them. They were cheap enough. A friend of mine had these, and he always gives me good deals on what I buy. So I usually just have him start a box for me, and I'll pick stuff up and just put it in it. He didn't have too much yesterday because he didn't know I was coming. But next time I'll let him know and come on with more stuff. But this was good. Falls City Beer. Can and bottle opener. Like I said, we used to call them church keys back in the day. And I don't know what you guys call them. If you had another name for them, let me know in the comments. Also got this Ben-Hur sage, pure sage. This is a canister. This stuff is collectible now. Los Angeles, San Diego. But it's well used. It's been set and looks like from where people touching it. But you shake it. I'm not going to open it, but it's almost got the full contents in there. You got to wonder sometimes. I know people don't use sage for a lot of things, but think of the age of this. Maybe 20s, 30s, 40s. This is an earlier one, and we do have more Ben-Hur coffee and stuff advertisements in the house. So when I find it, I buy it. But just think about the age on this, even if it's in the 40s, 77, 78 years ago, or more if it's older. How did they keep that product in there without using it, even half of it? This is full. It's just funny. They bought it and probably set it up in the shelf, and life happened, and who knows? That's why I think about collectibles is like who handled them, how did they last so long, and I'm glad it did because I'm happy to have it. But that was really nice. So I got the Doan's Pill, I got this. I bought a harmonica. Ridley's House of Novelties. I've never heard of that. I have to look up the age on this. It's not too old because it has a barcode on it. I won't take it out and touch it because if I want to sell it, I want to leave it made in China. So it's a newer one. New in the box. It's never been open. I asked the guy. He bought it, left it in the drawer, never played it. Yeah, I play harmonica, so I might keep it, but it's a honky tonk sound, and I go more towards the blues when I play my harmonica. Maybe I'll get a video up on that someday, but for now we're just gonna leave it at. I play a lot of instruments, so and I really enjoy playing harmonica. I could play old, vintage tunes from the 1800s, and all the way up to Delta blues and all that good stuff. And let's look at this guy now. He's a chalk puppy dog. I don't know what kind of dog it is. I gotta maybe look up a breed. I didn't even ask him. But I found this when I went in to look at stuff my wife had found. I was drawn to it, so to speak, because I saw a puppy dog. I got a lot of dogs, so I don't collect it, so I'm going to resell this one. He just needs a little touch up, and of course, keeping the integrity of my business and reputation, I will list it. It has repairs, but I've gotten pretty good at repairing chalkware and ceramic pieces where it's 98% flawless. But I purposely leave out a little bit of detail just so it can show an area's been fixed, but still looks nice. All he needs is just a very little bit of filler and some really light black paint, which I have just in a few areas. I mean, I know a lot of people like them left as is, but I like it better when it's more attractive when the finish is older but still together. But he's pretty cool. Now, I know they sold these in stores. I remember seeing them when I was a kid at like Bonanza 88-cent store. They had stuff like this out. Inexpensive, little decorations you can get for your kids' room, but that was back in the 60s. This is a little bit older. This is, again, the 30s or 40s. And it was a carnival prize. So you did played some type of game and got this as a prize. So it was pretty neat to have a carnival prize. My dad actually won us one of these, not a dog, but it was a little bit bigger, and it was a bank at Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. We used to go there all the time. Used to take my kids there till we moved over here. It was about 5-6 hours away. But he's pretty cool. There was another one there, but my wife was ready to go. She had hip replacement surgery, so she wasn't in the mood to hang around anymore. She wanted to get going, and it was great to be down there with her and talk to friends and things. Then I got some jewelry. I don't know. My wife bought it just because of the color. It was extremely cheap, and it looks nice. They're plastic, and I believe this is the original box. I don't know when they made the 1928 brand jewelry. I think it was maybe, I don't know. I think it's modern, but I'm gonna look it up anyways, just so I could see, so I could learn a bit more about it when I buy it. But it still looks retro, anyways, and retro sells right now with costume jewelry, the really good stuff. So that's very nice. Let me see. I got a Kevlar helmet cover. I have a Kevlar helmet that needs a cover because somebody painted it blue, and I don't like the blue helmets, so I'm going to put that cover on it instead of repainting it. So that was good. That was really cheap. I got some. I'll save those for a minute. Let me. I got some ephemera. I got some more to show you later, but I got this old calendar, New York Life Insurance Company, and it's got those nice schooners and tall ships on it, and it's from 1938. It's a complete calendar. Got a little bit of rips and some little nicks out of it, but I'm starting to collect old calendars now. So that's going to stay with me. I might sell it at a show, but for right now, it's going to stay with me. It's going to go up on a wall, and then when it's time for a show, I'll have it. And even if somebody asks, do you have any calendars? I always take pictures of things I have at home that I want to sell so I can meet people later and maybe sell them more stuff as I'm showing it off. So I do keep pictures with me to show. My wife found a very nice piece of Murano art glass. It's very simple in design, but it's very nice. No chips, no cracks. I just got to get that sticky stuff from a sticker off it. But really nice. It does not have the Murano tag, but it is. We collect art glass too, from a lot of things. Maybe one day I'll give a house tour. These items here, I buy these from him all the time. He digs up. He doesn't actually physically dig them up, but he gets them somewhere. 58 caliber mini balls. And if I can think right now, I can't think off the top of my head, but I know what weapon they came out of. They are 58 caliber, but you can usually tell the manufacturer and type of rifle they come out of because of the rings on the bottom. Certain number of rings or spacing on those, you can tell. The reason I get these is because they're easy to show kids. If I do a display at a school, like I've done at my other schools in the area in Gilroy, if there's one kid that comes up and shows a great interest in this stuff, or a few kids, if they're really interested and they ask all kinds of questions, I can give them one of these, and it might spark interest in history. Oh, there's 3 of them in there. I didn't realize there was 3. One was stuck. Oh boy, bonus. I didn't even open it up. I just saw him. He said, $10. And cool. Yeah, it's hard to open, so that's cool. That's a nice surprise. But that's what I do with those. Plus, I have them displayed in my room. One of the things a lot of collectors say when they find things like this is, well, they're not making them anymore, and it's getting to where the laws are where you can't go dig anywhere. And of course, you can't dig on a national battlefield unless it's private property. And mostly, since people started collecting these, they're all dug out, and a lot of people leave them behind because they think they're common, and it's good for me because I'll buy them. Let's see, what do I got next? This is another thing. My mom's got a good eye, so does my dad, and they found these at a sale, and all they just knew that they were old liners, but they thought they were kids' toys. Now that could very well be the case with this. But what this is, you notice how it's unfinished. It's got the strapping hanging down. Well, it's because it's been played with. But in the 40s, late 40s, mid 40s to, everybody wanted to be a soldier, all the kids. That was their role models back then. And the companies that made these liners, and you can look inside, and there's a letter F right inside that little diamond. It's hard to focus on this. As you can see, it's going in and out of focus. But it's made by Firestone Company, so it's a legitimate liner for a helmet. The only thing that I can notice on this is back in the day there, even after the surplus, after the war, when they had these sitting around, they made them into kids' toys, which this could be a child's toy helmet. This could be an industrial worker's helmet, like where there were security guards, kind of like a hard hat. But what happened was when they make these, you notice they make them out of fiberglass, and these are pressed. These are pressurized helmet liners. Makes them stronger, makes the fiberglass bind. And you notice right here these little chips and the weird little lines here, and it's starting to come up a little bit. And right there. Now, that's called delamination. And when these delaminate, especially on the battlefield, it's an issue, and it causes an issue with helmets. So rather than take a loss, just being industrious, I think that's the word for it. And you can see that little line right there isn't sealed, didn't pressure seal properly. They took these liners and they reused them. Now, this could even have been for civil defense. If somebody in a civil defense department had their metal ones for their unit leaders, and then all the rest had hard hats to patrol with, or work in a bomb shelter, or distribute food, something to be identified as a servant, they would wear these. And then again, kids made these, or you might have seen somebody with in a warehouse walking around, a security officer at nighttime during the 40s, 50s wearing one of these. Sometimes even police forces had them in the early days of riot control. So that could be a number of things, but any one of those is valuable to me, and I really enjoy it. The ephemera, well, I'll show this first because I'll move it. And then I got a fishing lure sign. It's wooden. It's not old. It's made for decoration in your house, but it is fishing related. And it came with this old curtain rod on it, wrought iron curtain rod that my wife liked. So she even likes the sign, so we'll probably hang it up outside with our other signs to put up there and show. Sorry for the camera view, but I'm trying to go underneath this. What we got is we got some ephemera, and I think there's one I had to have set somewhere, but the New York World's Fair. No, it's all right here. New York World's Fair map. This is a walking map of the World's Fair from the 20s. 1939. A postcard, a matchbook cover, says to go to meet at Schaefer Center. I got some World War I AEF envelopes. These are envelopes only, but they have researchable names on it. And notice I'm not touching them without gloves. They're still in a little package. So it gives the APO and the AEF. He was in France, and he was a sergeant. So I'm going to be looking those up, see if I can find something about the man's service. And last but not least, I got this at a sale that we found right before I posted that one about being in Gilroy. And I found this picture of the USS Louisville, and it has the man's name on the top. V. Brantley, Farmers Mate, 2nd Class, United States Navy Reserve, USS Louisville. That's something I'm going to be looking up too. That came from Gilroy. Got a little bit of water damage on it, but it's still going to look good hanging on the wall. And yeah, so that made for a good day. So, sorry, my wife came home. My dogs are whining. So that's all I got on Saturday. I was hoping it would be more, but you know, this is enough. I did get one other helmet liner I've got sitting in another room that I didn't pick up before I came in. That is like a clone for World War II. I believe it's Belgian or something. It looks like an American one, but it's not. And that's collectible. That's going to go in my collection also. But there was good stuff out there, and I'm very grateful that my parents still think of me and pick stuff up for me whenever they're out. And then I'm grateful for what I was able to buy. My wife was out, and the things my wife found. So keep an eye on Facebook. If you go to BearflagMercantile on Facebook, that's my store's site where I post pictures of pre-sale items. I haven't been up on it lately. I've been fixing it up a little bit and working on it. And then my eBay store is BearflagMercantile. It's not really, I just start the auctions on there. You'll see a lot of stuff you see in the videos on there. And that's about it. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you on down the road.